Hello, welcome to my channel and thanks for tuning into this video. Today I'm going to be reviewing and using the new NARS Orgasm on the Beach palette. So if you'd like to see me try this out and share my thoughts on it, just keep on watching. Now I have used this once before, so this will be my second time using it. And I'm going to start out with bronzer, and actually what I like to do for the bronzer is mix these two shades together. I think this one here is really meant more as a highlighting color, but it would be too dark as a highlighter for me. So I find that actually these two together, because this bronzer is a little bit dark as well, the two together can sort of balance each other out a little bit and make a really nice bronzer shade. I'm gonna try using this Hermes blush brush for the bronzer, and I'm just gonna sweep it through those two shades. These are a baked formula, so they're not the easiest to pick up on a brush, but I think that this brush, which is quite stiff comparatively, can work pretty well. So it definitely picked up the product. There's quite a lot that got deposited there. And you can see that it's really quite a red toned bronzer, which is kind of a little bit different from the usual. Yeah, so I think although I did mix these two tones, I think this tone is really predominating. And although it's quite a deep bronzer color, it's not that bad on my type of a skin tone because it has all that red in it. So it does give a really quite a natural sun-kissed look for a cool skin tone like mine that is prone to just burning in the sun rather than tanning, because it almost looks like a little bit of a sunburn, but in a nice way, I think. I actually like how it looks on this cheek better than on this one. I think I was just a bit too heavy-handed on this cheek. So I'm taking my brush that I used for foundation today. It's the Wayne Goss Edit Brush, the 02. And there's just a little bit of sort of remnants of foundation on that, and just patting over just to tone that color down a little bit. And I think that worked really nicely. And while we're in the bronzers, I'm going to do some lip shading just with maybe this darker highlight and see what happens there. I'll mix a little bit of the bronzer in, but just a touch, mostly the darker highlight shade. I think it's okay, but that's actually not my favorite type of a shade to use for that lip contouring because I think it is too red, so it just kind of makes the lips look a little bit messier rather than giving them the definition that I want, but that's okay. So let's move on to the blushes now. I think I'll try at least to use these two, and maybe we'll pop that red one in. So I'm going to go in with my Designer Pro brush from Sonia G and going into this shade. This is the Orgasm shade, the eponymous shade in the palette. And let's see how that looks. I have tried the original NARS Orgasm blush before, and it wasn't really my favorite. I had like a little mini size of it, and I don't know, I just didn't really love the way it looked on me. It was almost like it was too pigmented or too bright or something. But that was years ago, so if I tried it again, I might like it. But I like it in this baked formula because it's just easier to go in more gradually with it. It doesn't have the same kind of, I don't know, overwhelming pop, I guess, that the original powder version had. I think that's quite pretty. and I want to put the peach color on top of it. So I'm just cleaning off my brush on my microfiber towel. And then I'll go into the peach shade. I'm kind of confused by the way these are named. I think this is Montezuma. The names are written on the back, but they're like upside down, and so I don't know what corresponds to what. So taking Montezuma onto the brush and just kind of, especially going around the edges. And I think that's really nice. It's really toning down sort of that delineation of where I had put the first blush. I don't think I'm going to be able to work the red blush in because I just have a lot of blush going on already, but I think that those look beautiful and they are more pigmented than I was expecting. I'm just going to take that foundation brush again and just kind of stamp over everything. There we go. And now for the highlighter, I'm going to try with my mini cheek brush. It might not be dense enough, but I'm going into that sort of golden highlight shade there. Showing up a little bit, but I want to try a different brush. Going in with the Sculpt 3 from Sonia G. And yeah, there I can see it better. There, you can see that. Beautiful highlighter, definitely more golden toned, and probably the kind of highlighter I'd really only wear in the summer. Because I do have a touch more color to my skin in the summer, and I tend to wear a slightly deeper and warmer base in the summer, so I think it can work for that. But if you have very fair, very cool toned skin, it might not be your favorite highlighter. I think it's gorgeous for the summertime. Such a nice shine on all of these products. I guess that's everything I'm going to apply to my face. I'm going to do some swatches now, just so we can see the true tones here. You can see how much pigment that bronzer shade has, and you can see there that that middle shade on the top is really quite appropriate as a bronzing shade for a fair skin tone. And there are the blush shades as well. They are all really gorgeous shades. I can't wait to try that red one sometime. But as I said, I think I just have quite enough blush going on right now. I do think that the Orgasm shade definitely is the same shade as the original blush. I think what it is about it is that it has almost a neon quality to it. Like, it doesn't look neon there, but when I look at it on my hand, it has a real true pop to it. So that makes me think that it might have quite a lot of white in its base, and that white might be why it pops so much on the skin. But I can see that golden shimmer in there, which the shade is known for. And as I said, I do actually quite like it in this baked formula because I just prefer the finish, and it looks very lightweight and seamless on the skin. Whereas with the powder version, I found it just looked a little bit heavy. I love that peach shade. I think it works so well with this one, and I think it would work really well on its own as well. And the red shade looks gorgeous. I think these two are a little bit shinier than the red one, but they all do have a sheen to them. And then with this little grouping of 3 here, the 2 highlight shades are much shinier than the bronze, but again, the bronze isn't really a complete matte. It's quite a, you know, satiny sort of finish. So I decided I'm gonna try a little bit of the red and just see if I can tap that on my lips. I have the Fenty Gloss Bomb on, but I wanna see if this can Ooh, that looks nice, yeah. Well, that works great on the lips. So even if you thought maybe the red would be not good on your cheeks, it looks really nice on the lips. And since I put it on top of that gloss, it doesn't feel dry or powdery or anything. So I think that's about it. I think this is a beautiful palette. It's more pigmented than I expected it to be, with that's fine, just as long as you know that to go and start with a lighter hand, and then you can just build up really gradually. And I think this is really going to be a great palette for the summertime, and I'm really glad I got it. So let me know if you have any comments or questions below. I'd love to see those, and if you'd like to see more from me and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I would really love for you to do so. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.